Hey everybody, welcome to the Boss Rush podcast. This is the second episode. I'm Pickyo Gamer. My co-host here is Sega Galactico, and our special guest is Dell. Take it away, guys.
Why don't you say, hey, Dell?
Howdy.
So, I've been following you on Twitter for a while, and I think vice versa, and you're quite the interesting gamer and stuff. It's not really on topic, but I know you're working on board games, and that's really interesting. So just tell us a little bit about yourself, about a brief history of your gaming past, like how you started gaming and whatnot, and
Okay.
some keynotes.
Well, I guess I kind of started when I was about 2.5, 3. We used to live next to a bar, and they actually had a copy of Double Dragon in there. And so I would actually wander around since, it was North Carolina. Nobody cared about that crap back in the late 80s. And I actually managed to wander in there a few times and just stare at the machine for a while. But aside from that, my parents ended up actually getting a NES when I was around that age as well. And we had a copy of Ghostbusters 2 and Mario 1. So those are pretty much my first experiences with everything.
Awesome.
But aside from that, I actually started getting into video game collecting about 8 years ago. And so I've been trying to slowly amass a whole bunch of stuff. I almost have a full set for the Nintendo 64 at least.
Oh, awesome.
Which is a lot of fun.
Is that like your main target right now, is the N64?
Yeah, I'm about 19 games away, and it's just fun to go through all those things. And
that's amazing.
I don't like to go on Amazon and stuff. I like to try and at least find them in person. So
yeah, finding games in the wild is way more rewarding, especially if you can find a good deal on them.
Yeah, probably my best one, which really ticked off one of my friends, was I found a nearly mint box copy of Shantae for the Game Boy Color for $6.
Wow.
Nice.
That's pretty awesome.
But yeah, before retro gaming got so incredibly expensive, my wife ended up finding a whole bunch of Atlas games for me because I was I still collect them, kind of.
Yeah.
And she ended up getting like a box copy of Wacky Races for really cheap, along with like 8 other games that she gave to me for Christmas.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for those resellers, though, man. Whew.
Yeah,
jack up those prices.
Always sucks.
Yeah, I actually scored I scored at least one thing this weekend. I've never played the Genesis, as you've heard in our first podcast. It's not much. I went to my friend's house and I loved it. I never had one, but I always wanted to get the Street Fighter 2 version. I found one that the box is beat up. I really don't care, but I went to a pawn shop and looking, I was like, no, and I saw a copy of it. I spent $5, so I got the Street Fighter 2 for the Genesis.
Is it Tournament Edition?
Yeah, it's that special championship.
Okay.
I'm not really a fan of the Super Street Fighter when they kept adding more characters, which is a good game, but I love Champion Edition where I can turn it on because I had Street Fighter 2 Turbo on the Super Nintendo, but I was like, I got a copy of this now for the Genesis. And I put on my Christmas list for a Super Retro Trio so I could have the Genesis, the NES, and the Super NES because my Super NES Mode 7 is broken, my NES is a little quirky.
Isn't Mode 7 always broke?
Oh,
shots fired.
Oh, it's not blast processing.
There you go.
So, but it is. I need to actually. It looked kind of stupid. I had to take it with my phone. I need to turn it on and show when I got Chrono Trigger from Japan and I got Mortal Kombat. I'm trying to. That's the only thing I got right now. I got to find my rest of them. When Mode 7 kicks in, it looks like something's thrown up on the screen. It's hysterical.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
When you play Star Fox, and it's just like, nope.
I'd have to try that. That'd be funny. So you say we were talking about this earlier. You have been trying to get into collecting the TurboGrafx 16. That's something that you popped the question out to us last podcast, and it was a great question. What made you get into start collecting the TurboGrafx 16?
Well, mostly just the fact that a lot of the games for the time were pretty unique. Even though I'm not really a huge fan of anime, there's a whole lot of heavily anime influenced games on there that were quite different. The main example that I use repeatedly was Silent Debuggers, which is just a really weird game, but it's a lot of fun to play.
A lot of shooters on the TurboGrafx too.
Very true. A lot of side-scrolling goodness.
Bonk. I mean, he finally went on to other consoles. He was so popular, actually.
Yeah.
You have Lords of Thunder.
Yeah.
No, I don't, unfortunately, which really stinks.
There's a really cool ninja game on there. I don't remember the name of it, but
You might be thinking of Ninja Spirit, which is a lot of fun.
Yes.
yeah, that looks badass.
It's the one you have multiples of yourselves on the screen and just humongous bosses.
Yeah, and you can use like the kunai and chain and just whip it around the screen repeatedly. It was a lot of fun.
That sounds cool. Oh man, I want to get a TurboGrafx. I haven't been chasing in a long time. It's been a while.
I like to get it or the Neo Geo, and I look online and I croak at the prices.
Yeah, I still need to look up that.
Yeah, that especially like the Neo Geo CD or something.
It's ridiculous. I mean, I love to actually be able to hold a Neo Geo cartridge in my hands. I've seen them, I've seen people hold them and show how big they are. I'm like, well, can I really beat somebody to death with this thing? I figure I can. It looks awesome.
Or like the TurboGrafx had the Turbo Duo.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you have one of those?
No, unfortunately.
Ah.
I've got the Turbo CD attachment, and that's about it.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah, they
Well-
re-released it as a Duo system, I think.
Yeah.
Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong.
I thought that was how it was. Well, if that's the case, then yes, I have the
Yeah,
attachment at least.
you have the
Nope.
original put together yourself there.
The only thing is, doesn't the TurboGrafx only have one controller port?
They do, but they had pretty readily available multi-taps. And
Oh, okay.
So you can play with 5 players all together,
Oh, okay.
which is actually a lot of fun.
Wasn't there a really good Bomberman on there?
Yep. Actually, I think they had 2 Bomberman games on there.
Okay.
Yeah, I have one of them, a few copies of that one. It's a lot of fun. But
And,
then,
and the CD, of course, had Fighting Street, which is really Street Fighter. Even myself didn't know what that was.
yeah, I've got that one. It's really bizarre to try and play, but it's still a lot of fun.
Awesome.
It's very primitive feeling in comparison to the other Street Fighter games, but that's for obvious reasons.
Yeah, you only have a few more. You only have a few buttons.
Yeah. 'Cause if I remember correctly, they only had like the one super move that you could do, and that was just the Shoryuken.
Huh.
Because you just play as Ryu or Ryu. That's the only person you really played as in single player.
Yeah, and then you just go through and fight everyone.
That's novel.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was kind of neat because they brought back some of the characters from that in later games, like Birdie, and I think there were a few other characters too that they included.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm not 100% up on my Street Fighter lore, but
Yeah, I'm not. There's some people. I mean, Street Fighter V is about ready to hit. This, we usually talk about retro. It's not, but it's been around so long that I forget it's still around. I think-
I have a few friends who are really big into fighting games, and I tried to be, but I'm terrible at them. So
yeah, I loved playing 4, and they just got too many expansions for me after a while, and I kind of stopped playing.
I've
yeah.
always liked the King of Fighters characters.
King of Fighters is a lot of fun. I do
Terry
miss.
Bogard. He's badass.
Fatal Fury.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite. That's one of my
Yeah.
favorite fighting games.
As I mentioned before on Twitter, I'm always a sucker for huge rosters. So I always liked Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and King of Fighters 11 and stuff where they had, like 40, 50 plus characters.
Oh yeah, that's the best. Just like you hit at random, and that's the best part. You don't know who you're picking, and there's so many characters.
I have a habit of picking characters that aren't top tier by any means, but I just pick the characters I enjoy playing as.
And that's what you should do.
Yeah, like in Super Smash Brothers, I always play as Rob, which is just amusing to me.
I always play as Kirby.
Kirby's always a good choice.
I tried playing as Mega Man because I love Mega Man so much. I'm just not good with him. I still play as him and lose, but
Yeah, Yeah, as long
Us-
as you try.
I also like Charizard because he has that stupid move where he flies across the screen, and if he hits you, he does pretty good damage, and he also hurts himself. But half the
Yeah.
time, I end up flying off the side instead.
And then you have no recovery, and then you just cry in the corner.
Yep. That's not retro either.
No.
We're breaking the show.
Oh my god.
Oh, noes.
We pulled a Deadpool. We broke the fourth wall.
Oh.
So you posted us a hard question. You got to answer a hard question. Sega or Nintendo, and why?
Oh, Sega, definitely.
Et tu, Brute?
Yep. No, when I was a kid, I never really had a whole lot of Nintendo systems. I mean, there was the bonus side of, well, I guess one of the few bonuses of having divorced parents was one parent had one system, the other parent had the other system, so I was usually good between the two of them. But yeah, like growing up, Sega was my primary system for most cases.
Well, that's the way to look at the divorce. Oh, I get two systems. I'm sorry. That's awesome. That's a good way to look up. I mean,
There you go, positive thinking.
yeah. I mean, I like. I'm getting more into Sega now, but like I said, I went to that road, and my parents bought me the NES, and anywhere in there you go. You either pick one or two roads. They're both are great stuff.
Oh yeah. No, I was quite lucky growing up because my mom never actually gave a crap about what I was playing. So I was like 7 years old and playing Splatterhouse 2 and just murdering things.
Oh man. Those Splatterhouse games are great.
Oh yeah,
Splatterhouse 3 has some amazing music.
that is true. I can't really argue that one.
That's the one that made it more like a beat 'em up, right? I've seen some playthroughs.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to
And
make your way through the house and go to different rooms and whatnot to try and rescue your wife and son.
And that third stage has one of the creepiest bosses.
Is that the teddy bear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that. I saw
great.
somebody beat that. Was it you, Galactico?
It might have been. I did post a video.
Yeah,
about
yeah.
it.
And I walked somebody else, and I sat there and went, "Well, that's not Teddy Ruxpin's." I feel old. I mentioned Teddy Ruxpin. Oh.
I know what Teddy Ruxpin. I never had one, but I know.
No,
what
I
it is.
never did. I looked at the thing and went, "Okay, I've seen Child's Play. Not happening."
You don't
Was
want
that
another good guy
Caterpillar?
incident?
Yeah, I don't want to. I ain't gonna be your friend. You son of a bitch. You're gonna be burnt. Trash compactor 1.
I mean, you could just put like other. You could like. Oh my god, you could get a tape recorder and like record your own stuff and like sneak into someone's house that had one and make them say crazy stuff.
That's right. You could do that. I'll eat your heart.
Oh my god.
That's from Little Nicky. Remember when he does it? I'll eat your heart.
Yeah.
Love that movie. Did you get? Well, Dale, did you get into handheld gaming at all? I mean,
Oh yeah, I've oddly enough one of my earlier experiences. I mean, I had like a Game Boy and stuff growing up, but I never really caught on to that until I started collecting games. But oddly enough, I kind of went from the Game Boy to Virtual Boy, which was just bizarre. But that was again where I ended up playing my first Atlas game of all things, which was the delightful Jack Brothers, one of the only
Oh.
few good games on there.
What is that? What is that?
is it that import where it's got 3 like a skeleton and other character? I thought I saw an AVG and he updated. He saw the Jack Brothers and it was interesting.
Yeah, it did come out in the U.S. It was Pyro Jack. I forgot what the skeleton. I think it was just Skeleton Jack, and then Jack Frost, which is the mascot for Atlas. And basically, the whole point of the game was you had to take them and try and get back to their demon world before midnight on Halloween. Otherwise, they'd be trapped in the human world or something like that. And it's actually kind of a mean game. It's a top-down, kind of like a Zelda-esque. Well, actually, I suppose it'd be more like Binding of Isaac, kind of, where just top-down, you're moving around the map, and you have to try and shoot at the enemies.
Okay.
But
Kind of
Yeah.
Smash TV-esque.
kind of, a lot more like narrow pathways and stuff. But it was a lot of fun.
So how would you rate the Virtual War? I've never seen one. I mean, was it easy? Did it give you headaches?
Not for me, but I was also like 9 or so when I was playing it, and didn't really bother me at all at the time. I have one. I haven't booted up in forever. I'm sure it'd probably give me headaches now, but yeah, the
Well,
only
like-
games. Nope, go ahead.
You had to like put on like the tripod and like have it on like a desk or something and sit there with it.
Yeah.
It, like you needed to really have like a strap to like put around your head.
It
But
probably
they
would
didn't
have
make.
been better with the like the VR setup that they have nowadays, where it's just basically a helmet that you throw on. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, it was kind of awkward. But I ended up playing that when we ended up going camping. So the rest of my family was outside doing outdoorsy stuff, and I was just sitting in there in the camper with a Virtual Boy in front of me.
Oh, Virtual Boy.
Man, if I saw one, I think I'd just fall over like, wow, that's pretty neat. I don't want one, but it's pretty neat.
I used to have a roommate that had one, and so I played it a couple times, and I was like, "There's so much red."
Yeah. The only reason I have it now is just for the Atlas collection, and that's
Yeah.
about it. Just so I have an excuse to play Jack Brothers again.
So you're a big Atlas fan?
Oh yeah. Actually, the only tattoo that I have currently is of their mascot playing or throwing snowballs at Vivi from Final Fantasy IX.
That's pretty cool.
It
Yeah,
wasn't too bad. I'd like to get more, but I'm just far too broke at the moment.
I'd like to get tattoos, but I'm a pussy, so.
It wasn't that bad. It was just like being scratched by a cat repeatedly for like 3 hours.
No, that sounds great.
It's so delightful.
Yeah.
It's an interesting pain. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm a geek. I mean, I got Jack Skeleton, I got Ghostbusters, Megatron, and then I got
There you go.
yeah. I want to get. I'm thinking actually adding the Vault Boy to my arm, and then stuff like that. And people go, "Why you do that?" I said, "Why not?" Other than going out and
Exactly.
putting mom on there or something that you don't care about.
You don't care about your mom.
But I mean, the old fashioned. No,
Dude,
the
I
old,
don't care about her. Megatron, that's who I care about.
well, it's the
Megatron
old.
was a new mother.
It's a typical. You go there, the heart says mom. It makes you think of the Simpsons commercial where he's getting a tattoo and then they left off the M is Mo.
Yeah. There
So
are two tattoos I'd like to get, but I'd like to get the blue Mega Man helmet on one shoulder and have underneath it say "Death does wear blue," and then on the other arm have the Proto Man helmet, and it'll say "Hope rides alone."
hmm.
And then if I was really ballsy, I'd get the boss select screen from Mega Man 2 on my back.
Oh man, that would be awesome. That would be a lot of ink, but that'd be awesome.
Oh yeah.
You could put you a dead Wily somewhere. Underneath the blue helmet, you just see a little puddle of blood and a little silhouette of Wily. That'd be funny as hell. Wily was such a bitch sometimes. And I didn't know. It was amazing you were talking about that. The Mega Man games that come out on Sega, and I was like, really?
Oh yeah, the Wily Wars.
Yeah.
Through the
It's like
Sega
a-
channel.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it's hard to find, and it's expensive as hell, too, now.
Well, if I remember correctly, it was only released in physical form in Europe and Japan. So I
Right.
think the only way that we had it was just through the Sega channel,
Mm-hmm.
which I'd still
Yeah.
love to just get a Sega channel unit just to have it, even though it'd be useless.
You can get like a repro for like $50.
Yeah.
But
I've heard of them. I'm thinking about getting me a repro when I get my system. Hopefully, I get that other system. Because just playing the revamped versions on the Genesis just feels wrong and right at the same time. It'd be kind of like, haha, fuck you, Nintendo.
some of the music is weird, but some of it's actually a little better. It's weird. That FM chip is a weird beast. Like if you knew how to use it, you could make some fantastic sound with it, but if you didn't, oof.
Yeah, that's the only
Crazy.
thing about try. I mean, I don't, like I said, I have a few cartridges I played. Like I said, on one of my PKO Gamer plays was Mortal Kombat, which I liked it better actually in Super Nintendo, which I was floored. But the sound was like okay in some places, and other times it's like, what was that? So, but then Sonic or something like that, it's just fantastic.
Oh
So,
yeah.
Yeah. It just depends on how the developers were able to use it right.
But that's with anything usually.
Yeah. I was just thinking earlier today about how the Resident Evil remake on the GameCube looks better than some like 360 games and whatnot, just because of how much detail and stuff they put into it.
Oh yeah. Biohazard.
Such delightful games.
Yeah, I liked them. I actually liked them up to about 3 and Code Veronica, and then when they changed the zombie types, I wasn't as much of a fan. And
Yeah.
not that they're bad games. It's just I liked 2 and 3 were like so memorable on the PlayStation. I loved them.
I was never really a big fan. I beat 2 on the N64.
Did you
And-
have the expansion pack though? That's the real question.
Yes,
There
of
you go.
course. And then I played 3, and 3 really got under my nerves because of it's so stupid. You guys are going to be so mad at me. So there's a part in the game where you meet this one dude. I think
Carlos
you-
or Brad.
I think
Yeah.
Carlos.
I think it's Carlos, yeah.
Yeah, you meet him, and so then Nemesis shows up, and he breaks down the wall, and I'm like, okay, fuck this. So I run because I don't want Nemesis to kill me, and I'm really far from the situation. All of a sudden, the screen it says, "You are dead." I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm running down the street. I'm not dead. And apparently, he killed Carlos, but he didn't kill me. So I was like, why are you telling me that I am dead? It should say Carlos is dead. That would make more sense. And so I just rage quit because I was like, I'm not dead. Hello.
It should have said
Arguing
you.
with the game.
You should. It should have
Yeah.
said you fucked up. Yeah, I
And
think
Carlos should have ran too. It's not my fault he's an idiot.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure most people's first reaction to Nemesis would be to bolt. But
Yeah, I was like, fuck this.
I mean, especially like and the second one, Tyrant. He showed up. I'm like, nope, fuck this.
Yeah.
I ran like a bitch. I don't care. I mean, that's what you pretty much done from him. It's just like he showed up. It's like, oh crap.
It's survival horror. I was surviving.
And the horror almost pissing my pants. Because a couple times in 2, I mean, he just pop up and scared the shit out of you. It was nice.
oh yeah,
How was the N64 version? I know they had to really work to get that on there. They did. They sacrificed some CG stuff, but
yeah, it wasn't too bad actually. They added notes to it that you couldn't find in the other versions of the game. If I remember correctly, they had like one that had an allusion to Resident Evil Survivor, which unfortunately nobody cared about. But
I don't know. Am I correct in remembering that it was on 2 carts?
no, Resident Evil 2 is just on one.
they pushed it, and I did look up like the cart specs because I'm a freaking nerd. That's one of the only few 64 megabyte cartridges. They had to get up to a cart size just to hold it, and
Yeah.
then you had to. Then did it require the expansion pack?
No, it was just enhanced by it.
Yeah. But I bet it needed it really. So you need an expansion pack for smoothness, and they pushed the cartridges way high. You know.
Yeah, there's
But
a
I
lot
had to-
back in there.
Yeah. I had the expansion pack because it came with a game. I forget which game it was.
Donkey Kong, probably.
No, it wasn't Donkey Kong.
There's something else.
What was it? Fuck. I can't remember. I did play a heck of a lot of N64 though.
Oh, it was a great system. And like you were saying last time, Space Station Silicon Valley is such a delightful game.
Oh my god, I rented it so many times.
Just run around as a chip and hop into all the animals and abuse their
know.
abilities.
It was so unique.
Oh yeah, it's probably one of my favorites on there, along with the one that I keep talking about, Mischief Makers, because Mischief Makers was a great game.
Yeah, that was a treasure game.
Yep.
I never actually played it. It looked cool.
Oh, it was. It was kind of weird though, because basically, in order to get the best ending, you had to get all the collectibles in the game, because the collectibles were actually a timer for the ending of the game.
Weird.
So if you only got like 10 collectibles, you didn't get nearly as much as if you got all of them. It was weird, but it was kind of neat at the time.
N64 was all about them collectible games.
True. There's quite a few of them on there.
I remember I loved Jet Force Gemini until I got to a part where it's like, you have to go back and find all those ant things. And I'm like, what?
Yep.
No.
You have to rescue all the civilians, otherwise you can't get to the final level.
Yeah.
Yay! Yeah, this is where one of my friends ended up quitting too, because he's just like, yeah,
Yep.
no, done.
It was fun until then.
Actually, you were right. Donkey Kong 64. I'm listening to you guys. Included the expansion pack because it and Majora's Mask required it.
Yep.
I wonder how I got it then. Because I didn't get Donkey Kong.
They did have like third-party ones, and plus I think they sold it.
It's sold.
separately
It's
anyways.
in boxes. You probably picked it up.
Oh, was it? I think it came with a Rogue Squadron game.
It may have. A few
No, I
of
don't remember offhand.
I bet you that's where it came from because I love that game. I mean, hell, I bought the N64 for the Shadows of the Empire. Oh, you know what game was awesome? Goemon the Mystical Ninja.
That is true.
The mech battles were amazing. Oh my god.
It's usually
That
one of
was-
the first things people talk about with that game.
Yeah.
They're a lot of fun.
And it was funny. Oh, I love that game.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm always weird because I usually like the games that no one else seems to like. So, like the Castlevania games, I actually enjoyed, and even Quest 64, which most people hated, I still
God.
liked somewhat.
Uh, you know. Now,
Yeah.
okay, Castlevania, I was okay with. Ooh, skeletons riding motorcycles. I can get behind this. But there's that one level where you have to transport the nitro, and if you jump or something even comes near you, you explode. Ugh.
Yeah.
And you have to go down that like those gears, and you have to like get on them just right. And if you drop down on the wrong one, you explode. You have to.
Yep.
the best thing I ever remember is I actually skipped a day in college to go some classes, and I pre-bought Zelda with the gold cart, and I had all that. And of course, I think I ended up trading it in back then. Now I wish I said I could go back
Yeah.
in time, and kick my own ass. But I mean, I skipped and I went and got that. Just like, this is awesome.
Yeah, I remember getting that for my birthday one year, Ocarina, and I like stayed up for like 16 hours playing it. It was great.
The one that I mean, it's weird. It's always infamous. People say for not living up to hype was Fable, but I got it. I played it. I went to bed at 3. I got up at 7. I sucked ass that next day. I think it was work. I was still in. I don't know when it was. Maybe college. I was still in. It took me a long time to go through college. I had to work and pay for it, but I played it. I didn't want to stop playing it. Yeah, I know how that is to get a game you just can't stop playing it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what's the game? What's games you all binged the most? Did you just sit down and you can't stop playing it?
Lately I can't do that anymore, unfortunately. As I've mentioned on Twitter, I just suffer from really bad gaming ADD. I'll start playing a game, and 30 minutes later, I'm like, oh, well, I feel like playing a sports game right now, so I'll pop in Madden or some crap, and
Yeah.
I for some odd reason, I can't sit through games that much anymore. One of my friends is actually starting at the beginning of the next year. He's issuing me monthly challenges to try and go through games just so I actually beat something. Because 70% of the games that I own, I haven't beaten yet, which is far too many.
Hmm.
I think it's the Fallout series, and it's not retro. Even though we usually talk retro, the newest one, I've caught myself around 4 or 5 hours on a Saturday, which I'm doing nothing, and I had to actually go, okay, this is too much. You've got to stop. Usually it's one like that, or I remember the Zelda game on the Link's Awakening on the Game Boy. I sunk so much time into. I would run out
Yep.
entire sets of batteries and good stuff.
Yeah. I rented Fallout 4 and I enjoyed what I was playing of it, and then I came across a glitch where like the NPCs that I had to report quests to weren't showing up in the right locations and stuff, and I just said forget it and stopped playing completely.
No, that sucks.
Yeah. Like they weren't even where they were supposed to be on the map, like they just did not exist, and like I would check the main map and they would be in the complete opposite corner or something, and
Huh.
it was weird, and I just said forget it. But yeah, probably one of the games that I've sadly enough sunk the most hours into would probably be Sonic Adventure 2 on the GameCube.
Hmm.
But that's mostly just for chow raising because I'm weird like that.
Way past cool.
That or Phantasy Star Online on the
Oh
GameCube.
my god. Oh.
Well, I mean, I
Oh.
love the Dreamcast version too, but my wife and some of our relatives and stuff, there were nights where we would like sit down at noon and then we wouldn't leave the room until like 8 a.m. the next day because we just played that the entire time.
Oh yeah.
It's the delightful thing of 4-player split screen.
Yeah, that's great.
I need to try to play
I'm an
that.
MMO junkie, so I've spent like countless hours playing like Final Fantasy 11 or World of Warcraft. So
Yeah. I need to get back into 14 again. I was playing that quite a lot, and then the expansion hit, and I kind of just stopped after that for some reason.
That one's good. I just
Yeah.
I
it's a
can't.
weird thing
I
for me.
can't do MMOs anymore. I played World of Warcraft, and everybody says if you play, I didn't beat it or go far. I played it 5 separate times. I get some people that want to play it, and I'd end up by myself playing an MMO.
Yeah.
And some people, I have a buddy who probably listens to this, and he's like, I don't care, that's cool. And I'm like, no, if I'm paying a fucking monthly fee, I want some people to run with in an MMO.
Yeah.
And I could, if
That's why you join a guild.
I joined a couple of guilds. I don't think I was in the right time, and I work and everything. I could not put the time they wanted. I was semi-casual. I
Yeah.
put time into it. I got level 40s and 50s, not really high end, but I got a few times, and I finally just went, me and MMOs are not good. The last thing I really play online was Diablo 3, which I also moved it over to the newer consoles. But even the old Diablos, those were fun where you could just put some time into it. You didn't have to come back to it and spend all that time into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of the same way. If my friends aren't playing MMO, then I usually have no interest in it whatsoever. Because it's, I don't know, just weird to me.
Yeah. It's not for everybody.
No, it's not. I mean, they're fantastic concepts and games. It's just, do you have the time?
Yeah.
A lot of people, and I tried it once or twice, it's just on a free scale. You're talking about one that wants you to sink time into is EVE Online. I don't know if you've
Oh
ever
my
tried
God.
it. It's like years just to get anywhere, years, real years. And when I clicked something, it's like, okay, it's just going to take a week. I said, nope, I'm out.
The music in that game is really good though.
I love sci-fi stuff. That's why I like
Yeah.
the Fallouts better. And I played some of the Oblivion and Skyrim and everything else. But I like some sci-fi stuff more. But
Yeah.
that was just too much.
Between the two, I definitely prefer the Fallout, or the newer Fallout games, I should say. I've never really been a huge fan of like high fantasy stuff.
Yeah, it's like, how many times can you do it? You got Token, Lord of the Rings. You've got this stuff over here, and it's like, really? We got another one?
That's because no one's made a really good Willow game.
Hey, now don't diss the NES one.
No, that one's good, but we need a new Willow game
Yes.
That's
with
one
Warwick Davis.
that's the one I never played because I liked the movie. I just never could find the game. I don't think that's I'm going to have to put a list up of NES games I'm going to have to start getting.
Deadly Towers.
Sky Shark.
If I don't choke at some of the prices when I go out.
Sky Shark is cheap.
So is Deadly Towers.
Yeah, there you go.
Deadly Towers. I have to look that up.
Game that's on like almost every top 10 worst games list.
Oh,
I
that
still
one. No,
Yep.
thank you.
The one where you just walk to the right and wander into an invisible dungeon for some reason.
That
was me.
sounds amazing.
You should try it sometime.
I've watched the nerd show it to me once, and I always forget the name. When I see it again, I'm like, that's okay.
Yeah, my friends have been trying to get me into doing like just a day of bad games. One of them is actually threatening to purchase Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde for me just for that day.
I have a friend who buys every copy of Superman 64 he finds.
I'm the same way with, except it's actually a good game, but I'm the same way with Phantom Dust, because Phantom Dust is always cheap, and I just pick up a copy and throw it at somebody that doesn't have it.
Is that a PS2 game?
Xbox.
Xbox, okay. I'm thinking of a Phantom Brave. Those
Could
are
be.
different.
Yeah, quite a bit. But yeah, Phantom Dust is such a good game.
What is it?
It's kind of weird. It's kind of like a deck building game, but you actually control your character on the field, and you pick up skills, and you actually can use them against your opponents. And the storyline's actually not too bad. But
That sounds vaguely familiar.
yeah, they were planning on. Well, I don't know if it's still in the works. They mentioned and they actually had a teaser trailer for a redo or a sequel. I'm not sure what it was supposed to be on the Xbox One, but I haven't seen anything on that since. Which sucks because I would love for it to come out because, like I said, I love the original one.
You say he buys Superman 64 title. What is he going and burning them? Or something?
No, he's like, I guess he's keeping them from other people.
Maybe he's saving
Yeah.
humanity because, like I said, again, I watched The Nerd and I watched a few other people, and I watched it and I said that was released.
Yeah, that's
Oh dear
that's
God,
bad.
I can see that keeping it out of the hands of
One of
everybody
the
else.
worst games I've played is probably Batman Forever.
For which system for that one?
Genesis.
Okay.
That game is like you get to that first hole, you have to jump up and you have to get your grappling hook just freaking right. And of course you can't, so you're just sitting there forever. And then if you do, it's that game is just so bad.
Well, it's also the same. It's worse on the freaking Super Nintendo. And I was at a place looking at some retro games. I went to Bees. I want to finally pick up a copy of Batman Returns. It's a Konami beat 'em up. And they seemingly keep getting more copies of Batman Forever. I'm like, no. I've only seen videos of it, and you're right. You have to grapple at a certain point, and I'm like, that's crap. I think and I got some of the worst game that I own is the NES Back to the Future.
Oh yeah.
That
I
one
love.
is, like I said, it's the only game that I know of where there's a bonus stage that's not a bonus stage. Because,
Yeah.
you can die and you can also not pass it, so that's not really a bonus stage.
It's incredible.
Oh,
I
so
mean,
terrible.
Ghostbusters. You think I'm a child of the '80s, like a lot of people, and I love Back to the Future. And as a kid, I was just like, video game, Nintendo game. And I looked at it, finally got my parents get it, and I played. I'm like, no,
And you're stuck
no.
with it.
Yep.
And I still got it. I looked at it and I said, you flaming piece of shit. I just put it back in there. I'm like, and I got a copy of in the box too of Silver Surfer. Why?
Hey, it's got a really good soundtrack though.
The soundtrack is
Tim
great.
Follin beats that game up. It's so good. Oh, just put it on and select a level and then just not die for a little bit. You have some
Wait a
great-
minute.
That's the real enjoyment of the game.
You're trying to say something, not die. That
Well, okay. Just I don't know.
Just stall. That's all you have to do.
stall. Yeah.
Figure out how you can just listen to the soundtrack.
It's great. It's great
'Cause
music.
Tim Follin is a master.
Yeah, I used to really be a lot harsher on games until I actually started trying to do computer programming, and then after that, I kind of started appreciating even the crappy games
Yeah.
because it's such a pain to actually try and get something out there.
Oh yeah, it's hard work.
But oddly enough, like the two games so far that I pretty much refuse to play at this point are actually newer games on the Xbox 360 and PS3. And that's just Tenchu Z and the Mobile Suit Gundam Crossfire.
Oh yeah.
Those are just both so bad. I bought Tenchu Z for $5 and actually ended up returning it just because of how bad it was.
That sucks. I never really played the Tenchu games.
I love the rest of them. The rest of
They
them are
look-
great,
yeah.
but yeah, for some reason that one just not so good.
Tenchu, you hit something there. I'm a big Tenchu fan, and you're right. It was on the PlayStation and the Xbox, and I remember finally getting a hold of it, and it was just like, who threw up on this game? What happened?
Yeah, it was. Like I said, there's very few games that I refuse to play, and those are probably the only two right now. I'll probably still buy them again later sometime, but yeah, they're so bad.
We need a new Onimusha. Come on.
Supposedly, didn't they file a trademark for it recently?
Oh my god.
I don't know if they're actually going to do anything with it, but the rumors are they're thinking about doing something new with it.
I love those games.
They were pretty fun from when I played them. But
Not sure what that-
I remember the Tenchu. Like I said, Tenchu on the PS1, 1 and 2. A lot of people are like, what is that? I'm like, it's a good game, and just taking my time through a level just to be able to not get detected.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh man, it's good stuff.
excellent stealth. Yeah, I'm really not sure what game I would like to see rebooted or remade or anything, or even just like a sequel to. I mean, there's so many really good ones that I'd like to see.
New
But
Bushido Blade. Come on.
I forgot where they ended with that. Were there just the two of them, or were there more than that?
Yeah, there's just two.
Okay.
There's a game that's kind of like it that's horrible called Kengo. Or a new dot hack. I would love a new dot hack.
Oh yeah, I would so very much. I liked, well, aside from the slang in GU, I actually really liked GU as well.
Oh yeah, I finally finished GU a few months ago. I
Yeah,
love those games so much. The battle system is just so action packed, and I
it's
know it's so super button mashy, but oh my god, it is reward. It's so fun.
it was a lot of fun. Like I said, the only thing I hated was like the first few hours where the only thing that you hear is like noob and PKK repeatedly, and it's like, oh my
Yeah,
god, you guys, I don't care about this. Just go on with the story mode.
I love going to the forums and like like people actually talk like they do on forums, and there's like trolls and stuff, and downloading fan art. Oh my god, downloading fan art's the best, and
Yep.
checking
Use
your
it as your
email.
wallpapers afterwards, and
Yes, and
so
changing
much
your
fun.
music, and then there's that card game that you don't actually play. Oh, that game is
I miss
great.
those. Um,
Mecha Grunty.
did you see any? Or I don't know if you saw the post that I made, but have you seen anything on the terminal disc that came with the collectors for the first GU?
No, I didn't. Or was it the movie?
No, well, kind of. What it was it had all the cutscenes from the first series on it, and then as you
Oh,
progressed through GU, it unlocked all the cutscenes through there too,
oh, cool.
so you could actually like view everything if you wanted to. It was really neat.
I never played a lot of the first series.
Yeah, I had 1, 2, and 3, but unfortunately, I never caught 4. And now it's like $70 disc only, and it's like,
Yeah.
no thanks.
Fuck.
And it amazes me that the imports really are not that expensive. I mean, a lot of people. I had a friend who just actually said, "Why did I do this?" I imported Chrono Trigger for $10, and it's like I don't need. All I had to do is understand. I've got like a good third of the way through it, and I stopped playing it. But if you know what's going on, you figure out the menus, you're fine. But I seen one copy locally, and they wanted $90 for it, and it was gone the next week. I'm like, really?
Yeah, I can't do that anymore, unfortunately. I just,
I won't do it. I will. I love Chrono Trigger. It's my favorite game of all time. And some people go, yeah, everybody says that. It in Final Fantasy VII, everybody loves it, but I will not pay $90 for a cartridge that
yeah.
old.
Yeah, I think the most I've spent was probably around $90, but that was for a boxed copy of Somer Assault on the TurboGrafx, which is just a really bizarre game. But that one was a lot of fun. But yeah, just because it was Atlas and so old, I had to
Yeah.
pick it up for a lot more.
Yeah, but when it's cartridge only, and it had somebody wrote their name on it in the back, which wasn't horrible. You could get that stuff off the plastic. It looked really good. I'm thinking, okay, people, this is nuts. So. It almost makes you want to get into making your own cartridges, which I haven't seen anybody that can make their own Super Nintendo carts, but they can make repro NES carts. I know that.
Oh yeah, there's people that can do the repro SNES stuff too. One of the people that I used to follow when I was still on Reddit, he ended up having ones for like the translated version for Clock Tower, which is actually one of the few repros I
Oh
was
wow.
actually really tempted to pick up because I love that game.
It's hard for me to justify paying a whole lot for retro games.
Yeah,
Like I understand they're rare and stuff, but like especially games that aren't fun. Like I mainly like people like spend so much money on like a bad game just because it's rare, and I don't know. It's weird. It's weird to me the display it, don't play it mentality.
yeah, I don't
Like
think I could ever do that. I think I maybe have one sealed game, and that's just because I've already played and beaten it before.
yeah. I mean, I don't fault people that do that. It's just that's not my thing. I like to play the games.
Yeah, even from collecting standpoint, I don't think there's really any games that I haven't touched yet. Even like the used ones on, I at least like to try and play the games that I pick up.
Yeah.
Plus, it also allows for me to find really bizarre games too.
Oh yeah.
Have you guys played the SNES game Pieces?
No. What's
Have you heard of
that?
it at all, or no? It's literally a jigsaw puzzle game. You just put
Oh.
together jigsaw puzzles, but it's actually like a versus where you actually have power ups and stuff that you use on the other player to try and mess up their pieces when they're trying to throw them down and stuff. And
That sounds weird.
yeah,
That is weird. I like that Google stuff while you're talking. It is. Let's see it. Huh. That's neat. I had to find that, or look that up and get a copy of that.
Yeah. I don't think it was going for that much. Again, I had to pick it up because Atlas and whatnot, but it was still a lot of fun at least.
Multi-tap and Idiot Super Ants mouse. That's something you don't see much of.
Oh yeah. The
All
Mario
4
Paint.
games that use the mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was what, like Mario Paint, Vegas Stakes, and probably that, I think. I can't think of anything else offhand that even used the mouse.
There was a Sega mouse too.
There was.
Yep.
Don't remember what that was used for, though, unfortunately.
There
I wish
was
I-
a painting game. God, what was it called? I had it.
the Wacky Creation Studios.
There's 2 of them. There's that, and then there's this weird one with like a mouse on the cover, and you can put like stickers of like Toe Jam and Earl and Sonic on your pictures. And
I do miss Toe Jam and Earl.
oh,
I'm
man.
hoping that the new one's good.
Yeah, me too. I love Panic on Funkatron. I know a lot of people prefer the first one, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Just the co-op in 2 was really good. The action, it was so actiony, and the sprites looked great. It was a beautiful game.
Yeah. Aside from the character shifts, I actually liked the third one.
Yeah, I never played the third one.
It wasn't bad, but it was just a lot more like hip hop gangsta than like
Oh, yeah.
funk, and I don't know. The characters didn't feel the same, but the gameplay was actually similar to the first game, which was nice.
That's cool.
Those are some games I need to find me some copies of them and, like I said, get into them. Being out not into the Sega, that really I didn't get to. I knew about them, but I didn't get to play them.
Yeah. Always a good one is, well, if you have a 360 or PS3, the Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection had a lot of great games on it.
Yeah, there you go.
It's like 48 games, and you can usually find it for less than $20. Plus, it had Game Ground, which is worth $40 by itself.
Didn't that also have some Master Systems game on it?
Yeah, those were unlockables. Like it
Yeah.
had the original Phantasy Star, and
Golden Axe Warrior, I think, is on there.
yep. Well, pretty sure that was it. Yeah. But yeah, that was such a good compilation. I think there's only like a few games on there that I didn't care for, but I'm not too huge of a fan of like the Alex Kidd games and
Yeah.
what was it, Bonanza Brothers? Not really a big fan of that one either, oddly enough. But
Alex Kidd is weird. Like, it's so like popular in like Europe, especially England. But like when I play it, I'm like, this is like there's boss fights where it's literally rock paper scissors,
yeah,
and it's like that's
I mean they weren't like terrible games, but
No.
if I had a choice between that and most other games on the Genesis, I'd probably pick anything else.
yeah. There's a reason he's not their mascot anymore.
Yeah.
I still thought it was weird that they threw him in the newest Sonic and Sega All Stars Racing.
I think they hope that him to come back and at least be recognizable when everybody goes, "Who are you again?" So,
Hmm.
well, let's see here. We've been yakking for a while now. Anything else you guys
Yeah.
want to talk about, or?
Yeah, kind of rambling on my end, so.
Yeah, we're just
Oh.
BSing about games.
That's the best way to do.
Exactly. It's A-okay by me.
I didn't get any questions.
No, we didn't get any questions, and our fans let us down.
Yeah, way to go, Kelly. Only
Yeah.
Kelly.
Thanks. Because the other
Oh.
person who asks questions is on the show.
Exactly.
That's what we get.
Yeah. We shall get people someday. And then they'll ask us the random stuff that we don't care about. Oh, man. Well, I think we're kind of getting out of, running
Yeah.
out of steam, aren't we here?
Yeah, let's go ahead and land this puppy.
Well, Dale, I do appreciate you coming on here and just shooting the shit with us. It's been real fun. And
That's fine.
like I said, you can find Dale on Twitter. What's your Twitter handle again?
It's, well, deletion_Hikari, but it's always a pain to spell out since I butchered intentionally butchered the spelling of deletion, so.
It's all good. Who needs grammar? I don't
Exactly.
think so. Exactly. So yeah, if you find Dale on Twitter and just follow him, and then you'll see Galactico and I just being crazy as usual. And like I said, we appreciate you being on this episode of Boss Rush Podcast. So this is a Picchio Gamer, and that's my co-host was Sega Galactico, and I guess we'll talk to you guys next time.
Adios.
Catch you later.
Later.